Our next inductee is Dr. Sophie Vandebroek, who has been Xerox's Chief Technology Officer and the President of the Xerox Innovation Group since January of 2006. She is a Fellow of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, a Fulbright Fellow, and a Fellow of the Belgian American Educational Foundation, and received awards from Xerox, IBM, HP, Monsanto, the Belgian National Science Foundation, Semiconductor Research Corporation, IEEE, and Cornell University. What other names can I mention? And now the WITI Hall of Fame. So let's see more about Dr. Vandebroek.
I will never forget the day that Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon. I was 7 years old, it was 4 a.m. I lived in Belgium with my dad, who was an engineer, and my mom is an artist, and we all watched this amazing historical moment in time. At that point, I got this big dream. I wanted to see my footsteps in moon dust.
She was dreaming of becoming an astronaut, fell in love with engineering, and today Dr. Sophie Vandebroek is Xerox's Chief Technology Officer. In 2007, she stood at the White House and watched the President of the United States present Xerox with one of the nation's highest honors, the National Medal of Technology.
I'm proud to be part of Xerox and proud to be able to follow people who have been at Xerox for the last 5 or 6 decades, making such an amazing impact on the world. I arrived at Cornell University with 2 suitcases and a fellowship. I went on to study and get my PhD in microelectronics. Then I briefly worked at IBM Research, and 2 decades ago I joined Xerox Research. My 20 years at Xerox have been amazing. I get the privilege to work with smart and passionate people around the globe.
She has a heart to really tackle an initiative, and she's focused on it, and she's not one to just sit back and give and delegate. And me personally, it allowed me to be free to be who I am because I saw the passion that she had.
Unfortunately, there is a declining interest in science and technology, and especially for girls and minorities who are less interested to enter these important fields. So one of my passions is to really understand how can we truly attract more people, more teenagers, more girls, more minorities into science and technology, and allow them to have these amazing dreams as I had when I was growing up. One program that does this very well is FIRST Robotics. In that program, students first build a robot in 3 months, and then they go and compete. I've been a judge of the program many times, and when I talk to the students, especially the girls, after successfully completing a tournament, you can see their confidence. You can see that they really know now that they can do this. They can solve big problems.
One of the ways that Sophie has shown her passion for women in technology is through her reaching out to not only the women within the Xerox Innovation Group and within Xerox through the caucus groups, but also to the local universities, local as well as actually national other universities that she's very involved with.
Between my husband and I, we have 6 children, all now young adults, and all interested in careers in science, technology, or engineering. In fact, my oldest daughter just graduated with her master's in environmental engineering from Cornell. Being elected to the Women in Technology Hall of Fame is a real privilege. I thank my husband, my children, as well as my amazing Xerox colleagues and all of the open innovation partners that I work with each and every day in creating the future today. Thank you.
I hear a fan club. Introducing Dr. Vandebroek is Xerox colleague and Park research scientist Ji Fong. Dr. Fong's work encompasses natural language processing and social media analytics. She is especially interested in computational approaches that combine deep linguistic analyses and statistical techniques. Come on up.
It's my great honor to have the opportunity to introduce Dr. Sophie Vandebroek. I work at Palo Alto Research Center, which is just one of the research centers that Sophie oversees. And in addition to Park, Sophie also oversees other Xerox research centers in Europe, Asia, and US, as well as Canada. So Sophie is also a member of the board of directors of Analogic Corporation, of Nipro Corporation, and she is also a member of the U.S. National Academy's Committee on Science, Technology, and Law. She is a trustee of Worcester Polytechnic Institute and also serves on the advisory council of the Deans of Engineering at Cornell University and at MIT. So that's kind of her resume achievements. Now I'd like to share with you a little bit of my personal interaction, my personal experience with Sophie. So in my personal interaction with Sophie, she really strikes me as a scarily smart person. I'll share with you a little story why I think so. So I gave Sophie a presentation in February 2010 about a project I just started to work on. And in that presentation, I mentioned a product name called Color Cube, not for very important reasons. And after about 1.5 years later, I gave her another presentation, which is sort of remotely related to that previous presentation. In the middle of the presentation, all of a sudden, Sophie asked me, "Are the results you just presented the results about Color Cube?" I was like, huh? It took me really a few seconds to to quickly search what is that Color Cube, and fortunately I found it. I got immediately kind of scared, but simultaneously touched. So I was scared because I feel, oh my God, I should be very careful about what I say to Sophie every time. But I was also very touched because I can't imagine my presentation 1.5 years ago being how important, but your remembering of such a small detail made me feel like my research, my work is very important. Thank you. In her leisure time, Sophie and her husband especially enjoy spending time with their 6 kind of young adults. So I feel that's also a great achievement. It's with my great pleasure that we welcome Dr. Sophie Vandebroek to the WITI Hall of Fame.
Wow, it's heavy. Good. And I wrote this on my BlackBerry on the way in because we did get the message this morning. But of course, many thanks go to the Women in Technology International for honoring me in the Hall of Fame. This is just amazing. And also congratulations to the other women here tonight. You guys are great. Most of all, I want to thank my global research team and all of my many Xerox colleagues, as well as our open innovation partners and our clients around the globe, with whom I really always have the privilege to envision the future today and then making that real. I mean, it's just an amazing thing to do on a daily basis. And of course, after 2 decades at Xerox, many of them have become my friends. They become like your extended family. And so I'm delighted that tonight we have many of the people and the researchers, as well as Steve Hoover, the CEO of the Xerox Palo Alto Research Center with us, and a great friend, Julie Hogan, she's taking a picture, who leads all Xerox sales in the area here. So thank you guys for being here and a part. You guys do such amazing work. Indeed, I'm lucky that I've worked at Xerox in a company that truly values science and technology to be at the core of differentiating our products and services. So that's really a privilege. In addition, I'm lucky to work at a company like Xerox where I don't have to be a trailblazer. I mean, we embrace diversity. You saw Ursula Burns, our CEO, in the video. at Xerox we can truly be ourselves. So that is really, I always mentor new people, go work for a company where you can truly be yourself. But let me thank a few more people. First of all, my parents for always believing in me and early on encouraging me to study engineering. In fact, in Belgium, only 3% of the engineering students were women, so meaning 15 out of 500 students when I started. And so, of course, my parents were really happy that I started engineering, my dad being an engineer, but after all, my dad said, even if, whatever, his hope was I would graduate, but even if I don't graduate, I would marry an engineer, which was good. And in fact, I did. I ended up not only one, but I married 2 engineers, of course, not at the same time. And then this brings me to the next person, Jesus, my husband and best friend, and unfortunately couldn't be here because he's taking care of one of our sons. Anyway, I also want to thank Nena, my daughter, who just graduated from Cornell with a master's in engineering. Nena, stand up. You're amazing, and I'm very happy you're here. She bought a one-way ticket to San Francisco a month ago and works in San Francisco now, for those of you in the area. Very happy. And of course, I also want to thank my boys, and especially mine too. 3 of them came with a new husband. Arno and Jonas for being okay with, for many years, having a single mom who was always very busy. And when I mentioned to these boys that I was going to be inducted in the Women in Technology Hall of Fame, this is how they reacted. Well, of course, and they rolled their eyes. That's because there's so few women in technology. So luckily, our kids will always keep us grounded, which during significant occasions like this is, of course, very important. Thank you all.